The Whid is a water heater leak device specifically designed to prevent catastrophic water leak incidences in homes and businesses. What we're going to do now is introduce you to the water heater isolation device. The water heater isolation device is the first device of its kind on the marketplace. What makes the water heater isolation device dramatically different and unique to the competition is the fact that it has two very primary differences. The first difference is that it is 100% mechanical. So during this installation, you are not going to see anything relative to an electrical supply. The second important feature of this device, which makes it unique to the competition, is that it has this device, and it also has a check valve, which you'll see installed on the hot water side, which means that in the event that this tank should spring a leak, the Whid device will actually retain the water that's in the tank. It's actually minimized to either a half to 1 cup of water.
This is the diaphragm part body of the Whid. This is going on the cold water side. It has a inlet indicated on the valve and an outlet indicated on the valve, whereas the inlet is the water coming in. It's going to be affixed here. It comes with union ends on either end for ease of installation plus ease of service. The other part of the device is the check valve. Again, the check valve comes with an arrow on it indicating the direction of flow. The water is going to be fixed to the check valve is going to be fixed to the hot water side, which is going to be in this particular instance right here. And the third portion is a sensing line, which is going to connect the two and sense the action of water, the flow of water, to the fixtures through the sensing line. Okay. Right now, I'm in the process of cutting the cold water line, sanded portion of the copper line, and I've also cleaned and fluxed the male adapter that's going to be used to affix the Whid. Now I'm going to solder the two male adapters on the cold water supply line. Now that those are two soldered and have just been soldered, I'm going to let it cool down. As I'm letting that cool down, I'm going to start cutting in the check valve, the male adapters for the check valve. I've just cleaned the two ends of the nipples on the copper lines that we cut out. I'm now soldering the male adapters on the hot water side for the Whid. Now I'm in the process of putting the two unions on that will hold the Whid body to the cold water supply. I presently have the two unions installed, and the next process is to install the Whid on the cold water side. Now it's just a matter of tightening down the two unions on both ends. Now I'm now installing the two union ends for the check valve on the hot water side. Right now I'm installing the sensing tube between the Whid on the cold water side. These are push-fit fittings. All I have to do is push them in, bring it to the other side, and push it in, and that's installed. Okay, the Whid now is installed. Again, the Whid is on the cold water side, the check valve on hot. We are now going to turn the water on. Turn the hot water on to the house. Water is now flowing through the valve.
Now that the Whid has been installed, the water both on the cold side and on the hot water side have been turned on. What we've done is we've gone upstairs and we've turned a hot water faucet on, and that's allowed the hot water to now flow upstairs. We're checking for leaks, making sure that the device is working. The Whid works on demand, so every time the hot water is turned on, the diaphragm opens and closes accordingly. So now we're going to go upstairs, shut the water off, and then we'll be doing our test.
Right now we're going to test the Whid. By testing the Whid, this happens to be the drain line, the combination cold line and the drain line to the tank. What we're going to do is open the boiler drain, creating a leak. And the pin is activated, showing that the Whid is completely shut off, and it's indicated by the red ring on the piston. After you've had you've taken a test on the Whid, the pin has come out as indicated earlier. To reset the Whid, what you've got to do is you've got to close the cold water supply and open a fixture upstairs. That's going to relieve the pressure so that we can reset the Whid. We've already had the water open to it. Now the red line has disappeared. It's a matter of now just opening the Whid back up, and the water's running through the system.
Okay, so now that the Whid is installed, let's recap. What we've done here is we've installed the Whid, which is our water heater leak device, which will prevent now, in the event that this water heater should leak, our device will be activated. A couple of things to remember that are important. There is no power source necessary, so you save hundreds of dollars as a result of that. The Whid is 100% mechanical. This is a rather large and heavy independent water heater. Happens to be a stone lined. In the event that we were using a typical competitor's device, we would have had to have emptied all of the hot water out, and this tank empty still weighs 500 pounds. We would have to have lifted this tank in order to put a dam or pan underneath the device. If it had been in a gas water heater, we would have had to have disconnected the exhaust. We would have had to disconnect the gas lines as well as the plumbing lines. This particular independent tank here, we would have also had to, using the competitor's device, we would have had to disconnect not only the cold lines but the hot water lines that feed the heating system in the house as well. So that would have required bleeding the system, bleeding the air, and what have you. So the long and the short of it is, the Whid is a much easier installation, significantly less expensive to install than the competitors, and as you could see from this video, it installs easily, efficiently. Get with it.